This is the 2023 Toyota Prius. And I will be honest, straight out of the gate, there's a few things that I drastically dislike. It's time to find. We're in a vehicle that I've actually been quite looking forward to since they did the redesign this year. This is the 2023 Toyota Prius. I am in a limited trim vehicle, but at least I get to take a peek at what they did to this thing. A lot what they did was 2 thumbs up, but there's a few things that I drastically disliked. The standard controls here on the door are the same. Everything is very, very similar to what you would find in, a traditional standard Toyota vehicle, right? We do have our gas and our trunk latch, our button down here. Then we have the newer style Toyota steering wheel. It's this guy that I obviously is where I have my gripes against. Then we have our standard 12.3 inch display here, widescreen display. Everything is the basic items. And of course, wireless CarPlay is fantastic. Heated and cooled seats in here, which is awesome. 360 camera system, so you can kind of see where we can do the run around. And of course, I'm always a huge fan of these. Lastly, we have the park assist. So this will actually help park itself. Down below we have a couple USB-C ports for the USB connection to the stereo for the media, as well as just power. And then we have our DC port, a couple cup holders, storage below and on top. Qi charger that actually centers the phone and actually holds it in place to let it charge. It does not like MagSafe cases for iPhone users. So if you have a MagSafe case, it doesn't work, but the iPhone itself works fine. So right now I'm going caseless. We do have a drive mode selector. We can go between eco, normal, sport, and a custom. And then we have our EV mode. If we click on that, it'll just put a little indicator that we are not or are in EV mode. And then of course the parking brake, things like that. Standard glove box, center console with 2 more USB-C charging ports. There are, I think, 6 USB-C charging ports in this car, which is awesome for a small car like this. Kind of a twin roof. You can see my camera back there. I didn't take it off yet, but we have that. Controls up here for the lights. And these are just manual shades on both front and back. This Prius is everything that you love about a Prius, and they definitely fixed some things. The styling is substantially better. It looks like a really neat, futuristically angled vehicle. I really like it. There's a lot to unpack and love with this thing, but if you've watched my video on the Toyota BZ4X all-electric vehicle, I substantially dislike this driver information cluster, the display here for the driver. I absolutely hate it. I didn't like it at all with the Toyota, with the BZ4X. I really tried to like it, but I just couldn't like it. And even in this, I have to drop the steering wheel down to a point to where I can enjoy it, or I gotta jack the seat up to a point where I can see it. Neither of which I want to do. It should not be that I have to make myself in a less comfortable, in a more awkward position that I can actually fully see everything that's on that driver information display. And people blast all the time. I'm gonna say this again, like I said, I think in the BZ4X video. When you look at the Tesla Model 3 and Model Y, where the speedometer and everything is on the screen off to the side, excuse me, they blast that because, oh, I don't wanna look over there. Well, this is the same thing. Like, if I am in my comfortable position, like I typically drive with my one hand on top because I'm used to driving a stick, or I'm holding my wife's hand or whatever, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Drinking water, it's blocking my speed. It's really annoying, and I have to consciously move my hand in order to see that. I really dislike that. So if there's one thing that Toyota needs to change, is that. I understand that it looks more futuristic, because when I first got in the BZ4X, I was like, ooh, that's a really fancy, neat way to do a driver information cluster. Bad choice. I dislike it with a passion. So I don't think that's a bad way of saying what my personal thoughts on it. I'm sure there's people out there that love it, but I really dislike it. The other thing is actually on the outside, it's in the aesthetics of it. License plate piece that I was talking about is, the looks of this vehicle is fantastic. I really love the look of the new Prius. It just looks modern as hell. Absolutely love it, except for that. Some states require a front license plate. And in this vehicle, there is a spot to put it, but they purposefully made a spot to put it. In some states, you don't have to have a front license plate. And with this car, if you choose not to run with one, that plate is built into the bumper. You cannot remove it. It's a stupid block thing that's literally sticking out of the bumper. Now, I live in Iowa we technically require a front license plate, even though I don't think they can pull you over technically for it, but they'll still give you a ticket should you be found without actually running with a front license plate. They can, but they just can't pull you over as the primary cause of pulling you over, but they can still tack that on. Yeah, most people in Iowa, we all have front license plates. It's still part of the Iowa code. Some states don't. And if you're in a state that doesn't require it, well, you're still gonna have that piece of stick sticking out of the bumper that looks like you could add one at any time. I think that's a really dumb idea. I like the fact that of a bracket that you stick on there or screw on there, even like little indentations for screw holes on the bumper. But having it stick out is just it's really stupid. I'm not a fan of it at all. I mean, it's these small things that they could change and make this car even better. Because in all reality, if we're gonna stick and talk about driving, this car drives really good. This car gets really good fuel economy. It's definitely peppier than the older version. It has a 2.0 inline 4, and I really actually have enjoyed driving this car. Man, is it dark outside. That's the big thing that I want to say is I'm almost back to where I was with the BZ4X. This Prius is, I would argue, probably 85% fantastic, but there's that 10 to 15% that I really dislike. And in all reality, I'm being as honest as I can here. This driver information cluster right here, this driver center, I won't buy this car. If I was looking at this car, I wouldn't buy it because of that, personally. Now, I understand that's going pretty far, but I want to make it, I've bought several Toyotas in my lifetime. That would keep me from buying this car if I was looking at it. So that's that. I'm hoping that the rain stops a little bit so I can jump out. We can actually do our outside. Okay, so right here, push the button, up she comes. Some storage below in the styrofoam cups there. Look at before. Oh, well, there's the 12-volt battery. Okay, which makes sense. So there's our back. We'll do the luggage test next. This one also has the dash cam feature, which is a hardwired dash cam built into the vehicle, and you can see it blinking there. But if you just throw a micro SD card in here, right there, then you can save your dash cam footage without having to add one yourself. Okay, it's time to find out how many bags can we fit. Like always, if you watch my videos, I do carry-on size luggage. We can fit in the trunk. I can get 4 in there. I don't think I can get a 5th. Definitely no way. I might be able to get it on top. Let's find out. Nope. I think 4. 4 comfortably plus some extra bags. Down again, jump open the hood. Nice and congested with all the engine and hybrid components. Obviously the battery is in the back. There it is. There's the engine bay. There's that fancy windshield wiper piece. It's amazing how much area it gets with the windshield wipers. Now this Prius is kind of stacked with all their features for the most part. It is the limited trim, right? So it's the higher of the trims of the Prius. So we have a lot of features, all the features that you would expect to have in a more modern car, including automatic windshield wipers, which auto rain sensing windshield wipers are fantastic. They're not infallible, but they work. These actually tend to work pretty good. Probably heard of all the horror stories of all the different ones out there. Tesla's operates on a different brain scale to me. These are definitely better than what I've experienced in my Tesla, so that's one big thing to say. But in all reality, most rain sensing windshield wiper blades that I've used are better than what Tesla does, because theirs are not based on rain sensing. They're actually sensing with a camera how much obstruction there is on the camera. So it's a little bit different, I think, in how they actually do it. Now this does have, full hybrid capability. Of course, it's a hybrid and it has that 2-liter engine, but it's not going to win any races anytime soon. But that's not to say for a Prius, it's got more than enough power. It's actually one of those things that I immediately noticed. This Prius compared to the previous versions of the Prius, this one seems to have a little more get up to it. So I do appreciate that. So I hope I went through the ins and outs for the most part. Touching on the basics of what I like, what I don't like. There's just those couple things that I just don't really like at all. And I don't know if you've noticed on watching out the windshield, the actual windshield wiper blades itself, the passenger side one actually has a mechanism on it so that it actually is maximizing how much screen real estate, I guess, is being wiped by the windshield wiper blade, and it does a really good job. I don't have a shark fin, which is pretty cool. I always like that when they can clear out as much of the windshield as possible, and they do it on this. So this is everything that a current generation Prius owner probably would love to have upgraded is on this car, with one caveat and a small exterior glitch. I am truly hoping that they fix these two issues. Maybe they'll find out that I'm in the minority and people love this display. I'm not a big fan of it. It's just in the wrong spot. That's my personal thoughts. And I think it really would, if I was shorter, it'd be that much worse. So thank you for watching to the end of the video. If you have any questions or comments, please post below in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe if you can for me. And we'll catch you back here on Tech Gooch for another vehicle review. Next time, we're going Mazda again.